if I could write the Supreme Court opinion, that's going to ultimately decide this, right? That's going to ultimately tell it. I would say the previous use of the AEA, all of that, fuck that shit. That shit was all wrong. People did not understand the danger that it poses. Here is the new system, and make it. Let's just say I do it in a way where it says you have to have, 67% congressional approval to do it. Let's just say that. Let's say I do that, right? And then now Trump doesn't have just an easy flip a switch AEA turned on, right? But he still does everything. He still does.
Sure, but at that point you might as well just, because the whole point of the AEA, like in its most perfect form, right? The AEA is, it's Friday night and a Chinese fucking ship has landed, a submarine has surfaced in San Francisco, and a whole bunch of like U.S. Chinese nationals who are like here on visa start helping these people, fighting in San Francisco, and the president needs to say, holy shit, we're at war with China right now. If you're in San Francisco and you're a Chinese national, you're getting arrested. We're like starting like a fight right now. Like, and it's most perfect quote. That's what the AEA is for, right? And if you're saying that, like, well, we need 67% of Congress to approve, at that point you have no AEA. It's not, you're just like doing acts from Congress. I think the point was to give an executive the vigorous power to fight, when needed against an invading force. It's just that right now, the way that he's using it is just so obviously patently fucking absurd.
Well, 1 second.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. I understand the logic you're saying, but the deal is that at the same time, the judiciary does not have to be blind to the intent and the action of using it. And there's no reason why the Supreme Court can't sort of go, okay, right now, we've seen that there is an issue going on with the use of this, so we are going to, in some way, constrain it in a way that maybe never existed before and maybe wasn't the original intent of it. And if you've got a fucking problem with that, why don't you go to Congress and get them to pass a fucking law to change it? Because, and I understand that it's asking a lot out of this court. I understand.
Sure.
My point in saying that, why we should do that, is because to me, we should say, oh, if you want to act unhinged, then we're going to remove all the cover that you get for it, right?
Sure.
So
I think one thing that I think would be nice, they kind of did this with the emergency terrorist thing, although that's too long, is I wish that Congress would amend these bills so that there was like a 14-day or 7-day review. So like the president has the ability to act with vigor when he needs to, but there's like Congress has to just like manually approve it after, 2 weeks or 1 month or whatever, just to make sure there's not crazy shit going on,
Right. And what I'll say, I think also, I think that
also,
I think that there's
real
an
quick,
argument.
I want to see if this other microphone works. Hold on, I'm muting.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Play your time. Yeah, go play.